Welcome. Welcome, everybody. John Zager. JohnZager.com. How is everybody today? Good? So, I'm out a little bit east of town. There's a subdivision that I've been watching for the past year or so, and I just come out here periodically to make sure the building and everything is looking good. And I kind of enjoy it, and it's quiet, and it's out of the city limits, and um, there's a lot of amenities to just coming out here. So I wanted to do a quick little video on collective consciousness. I did a short podcast comment, I guess, under Navigator's Handbook, which I normally use. And I talked about, people today seem aggressive, um, short, um, what would you call it? Divisive, um, opinionated. Um, what would be some of the other things I used? Just a fair amount of um, discontent when you go in to order something and somebody has to help you. These are just things I've noticed. I'm not saying you guys have all noticed it, or I'm not saying you guys are all doing this. Maybe some of you are, some of you aren't. I'm not real sure. But there's a fair amount driving. Golly, that's really gotten out of control, if you ask me. I mean, people are. There's rage, road rage, quite a bit of that going on. And and when you watch the internet, as you all do, as I do, the comments, they're having to make real clear that we can't be making huge, disparaging comments to another person on the internet. And people just love to do that. I mean, it seems like they want to do that all the time. So, and in talking to people, I get, there's, I was at the gym and I usually lay my bag down in front of the door there for, I don't know, sometimes I get there a little bit early and I walk around. I don't know, I just kind of meditate as I'm walking around, waiting for the door to open. And, yesterday, two people came by and picked up my bag and tried to take off with it. And, I just said in no uncertain words, that's my bag. You need to put it down. And, that sort of thing. I was pulling into a parking space a few days ago, and I had to slow down and turn into a parking space. And this lady just got irate and started cussing me out and hollering at me and accusing me and saying, "Why are you here at this place?" It was a city office, is what it was. And you have no right being here. And just really, really terrible, terrible things. Um, those are just a few that add to collective consciousness. Now, everybody that's listening could probably come up with a half dozen or a dozen on their own of experiences that they've encountered, both verbally and just, in actions that people have taken against them. So if we start putting all this together, that's called collective consciousness. Collective consciousness has to do with sending vibrations out, right, into the universe, which are actually, they turn into a frequency, and they seek frequency of like kind and return it. Yeah? Well, this is probably pretty true in my opinion. And according to science, neuroscience, I'm sure it's true. But if you put enough of that together in the world and all the people. What do we have, 8 billion people or 7 billion people? I'm not real sure. But if a large majority of those people are negative in some way, that's called collective consciousness. That goes into a vibration, that turns into a frequency, goes out into the universe, and the universe has no choice but to return like kind, negatives. And there you have it. Now we're stuck with 2020. From the pandemic, from the hurricanes, the weather, the fires, the violence, the crime, the looting, people dying, getting killed. It's gotten, I'm just moving my phone around, sorry. I mean, it's gotten really out of control. And the reason that happens is because we all, as a majority, are entertaining, thinking or feeling, remember that, we talked about that yesterday, thinking or feeling thoughts that are somewhat negative. Actually, that are negative. And the universe is doing nothing more than returning the negative stuff that we're sending out to it. Here's the comment in my blog, short little blog this morning, and that I wrote, is that in order for the world to change, in order for all of this to subside, we need to change. We need to change in our thinking and our feeling towards one another, towards the world. Divisiveness, I used that word earlier. There's a lot of people that want divisiveness. An example would just be look at all of politics. I mean, not any one side or the other. It's gotten very divisive, very hostile, very aggressive. The things that are said and done today are outrageous and would not have been said and done when I was growing up. It wasn't like that. It just wasn't like that. So, just a little food for thought, where it comes from. I'm fairly certain everybody's wondering, wow, how did 2020 happen? Where did that come from? And how are we going to get rid of that? Well, I just gave you the answer. So you know where it came from, how it got here, and you know how it's going to get out of here. It's up to you to change the way you think and feel. It doesn't matter, you guys. Think about this. It doesn't matter if somebody has a different political view than you. It doesn't matter. Who cares? That's that person's thinking and feeling, and you have your own thinking and feeling. It doesn't matter. You know, if you have a job in, I don't know, what's a common place, fast food. If you go into fast food and the person or people behind the counter just are reluctant and sluggish and obstinate and mean, well, is that the end of the world? No, because the universe is going to come back on them and return the same into their life. Do you follow that? So it's not your job or my job to go in there and discipline these people. The universe will do that. Same thing with the politics. It's not your job or my job to go and discipline somebody about having a different view than mine. The universe is going to do that. If somebody's being outrageous that you encounter during the day, It's not your job to stop and discipline them about that. You know, the universe will do that. Believe me, the one thing that is a law, and when I say law, I'm always speaking about there's 12 laws of the universe. You know, the 12 that we mostly use. There's actually a whole lot more laws that are undeniable, but we just talk in terms of the 12. You know, the laws of the universe will correct the people that are coming up with negative stuff by returning negative stuff into their life. How do you think they acquire disease and cancer and terminal illness? You cannot get a disease or a terminal illness genetically. It is brought on by how you think and feel. You upregulate that. So I just want you to know that that's how it happens, and it's not our job to correct that. The universe corrects that. So I kind of went over a little bit too much, but I wanted to do this short YouTube video. And please subscribe, share, and follow. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I'll look forward to talking to you all again real soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.